Hello, I'm Ann Madsen from the Helen Gordon Davis Center for Women, and you're watching Tampa Bay Community Network.
Hi, I'm Bill Hodges, and this is Spotlight on Government. Today, we're not quite doing a government program, but it's something that's very close. I have Ann Madsen with me from the Center for Women here in Tampa, Florida. Ann, pleased to have you with us.
Thank you, Bill. It's great to be here. I'm delighted to be here.
A lot of your funding comes from government, correct?
Yes, about 60% of our funding comes from government, so we're thrilled to have that funding and make some of our programs possible.
Why a Center for Women? Why, I mean, in today's day and age, why isn't it just a Center for Humans?
Well, we're very proud to be celebrating our 40th year of helping to serve the community of Tampa Bay. It was started by the iconic Helen Gordon Davis in 1977, when it was really a transformational time for women. Things were changing.
It sure was.
It sure was, yeah. And so women came to Helen when she was elected to the House of Representatives and asked her for help. Because
she was the first woman
She
elected?
was the first woman from Hillsborough County. She was a real pioneer. And I was fortunate to get to meet her and learn from her. And she told me that, you know, women came to her and they said, Helen, we need help. We don't know, you know, we have to go to work. We have to find a way to go to work and earn a living, and we don't know how to do that. So she opened the Women's Survival Center and persuaded her husband to buy this beautiful home, which is our headquarters on South Hyde Park Avenue. And he didn't think it would last, so he said, sure, I'll buy this house and eventually I'll have this nice piece of property. And here we are 40 years later. And since those doors first opened, more than 80,000 people have come to us for help.
Wow.
So it's really her legacy in Tampa Bay.
You know, I think it's important, a legacy, you know, to build a stone building or things, but to change people's lives.
Exactly.
Is the truest of all legacies.
Isn't that true? And she, I think, was proof positive that one person can make such a difference in the lives for so many people. So fast forward, here we are 40 years later, and while times have changed and needs have changed, we have continued to respond to the needs of the community. And
particularly the needs of the female community.
Exactly. Our mission is to help women to succeed personally and professionally, and all of our programs are geared to that, because we think when you help a woman, you're helping her children, you're helping her family, and so we're happy to do that.
Well, what bothers me is the irresponsibility of so many men that walk away from their families and just leave that woman to take care of those children. Well, it's not my fault anymore. I'm gone. Bye.
Yeah, you hate to see that, but you know, life throws people a lot of curves, whether men or women, and I think that you just have to be able to deal with it and be prepared to, you know, when Helen started, it was really to help women to become financially independent. So if they lost a husband because of death or because of divorce, that woman could carry on and help her family and provide for her
Sadly,
family.
so many of the responsibility falls on them. And if we as a society help them lift up, then it works for all of us.
Exactly, exactly. And of course, times have changed. In the 70s, for example, women could not sign a mortgage on their own. They couldn't have their own credit card. Most women, a lot of women stayed at home. My mom did, raised 7 kids, and you know, I always said I'd have 7 kids until I had my first, and then discovered how much work is involved. But doors started to creak open for women in the 70s, and more job opportunities became available for women, and now women make up 53% of the workforce. And still we see those women. One of our longest standing programs is employment services, and that's to help both women and men prepare for and find jobs. And We still get funding from the state of Florida through the Displaced Homemakers Trust Fund. And that's a kind of an antiquated term, displaced homemaker.
Really?
But it makes our program possible to help women who have lost their primary source of income, women or men, because in some cases men have as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we target women with this particular center, but in order to really help target women, there's also the men who are raising daughters on their own.
We see that at our Center for Girls. Yeah.
That's got to be something that they need help with.
Yes,
I know I would.
Well, as a mother of a daughter, I know that there's a lot that goes into raising daughters, and yeah, we're happy to play our part. We have a Center for Girls, and it serves girls ages 5 through 14, and many of the parents who come here to that center are single dads, and they really value that we have programs to help their daughters to achieve their potential as well.
What kind of programs would you have if I were a single dad and I'm watching this show and I'm thinking about my daughters? They have questions. Maybe I'm not equipped to answer, but maybe other guidances. What kind of things would you offer?
Well, I will tell you the story of the Center for Girls. In 2012, it closed. We didn't have enough funding for it. And it's on Sly Avenue, and it's a wonderful building. And I said, this is too important to help little girls to not have a center open. So we opened with very little funding and a lot of optimism. And today it's a thriving center where we serve about 50 little girls every day with programs.
Every day?
Every day, every weekday. And their programs are really focused on what I call STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And it's to introduce them to things they might not ordinarily find and experience. But beyond that, we teach programs with anti-bullying, self-esteem. It's just a wonderful place. And it's very inspiring to go there. We have a wonderful director, Sartura Smith, and she's really teaching the girls valuable lessons on how to be good citizens, how to take care of the planet, how to cook their own meals with nutritious food, you name it, and we teach it there at the Center for Girls.
You mentioned one thing that's near and dear to my heart, and that's self-esteem.
Yes.
There are so many people with low self-esteem, and especially young people coming out of divorced families and things of that nature. Building their self-esteem is the building block for me that takes them to these other levels.
I think it makes all the difference. It's really about education for people and for little girls, that once they see things and they learn, I think it makes a big difference. So,
if I were a lady, thinking about coming to your facility, what does it cost me if I want to come in and partake of some of the things that you have?
Well, all of our programs are a little bit different, and most of them are free or low cost. For example, our small business, we have the only SBA designated women's business center on the west coast of Florida to help women to start and grow their own businesses. And most of those programs are free, which is wonderful. Or there's some kind of nominal fee for a webinar, for example. With counseling and wellness, it's on a sliding scale because we serve people of all backgrounds. So some have the financial resources to pay for their own counseling. However, many of our families live on incomes of less than $10,000. So when you talk about behavioral health counseling...
How does one do that?
Exactly. And so we're unique in that. And I have fabulous licensed master's level behavioral health clinicians who help people to sort out their lives, whether it's they're dealing with divorce or depression or death in the family, everyday challenges. We don't do crisis management, but we help people, women and men, adolescents, kids, to sort out some of the difficulties they encounter.
If you can make them healthy mentally, then the odds of them being able to go out and earn a living are much greater.
Absolutely. Now, some people come to us and they're all ready to go and they just need to start their own business and they have a grand idea, and so we help them with that. Others are not prepared for
lots of grand ideas.
Lots of grand, and
it takes work?
Well, Florida leads the nation in the growth of female-led businesses. And since our...
Really?
Yes. And since our Women's Business Center has opened, we've helped more than 2,000 women with training and counseling, and we've helped to launch 40 female-owned businesses. And why that's important to women is that many women in the workforce were making minimum wage. We had a success story with a woman, this is just one example, who went through a challenging time in her life, came to us looking for a job. She went through our program to learn job skills. She had some emotional issues that she was dealing with and decided she really wanted to start her own business. And we helped her to do that. And instead of minimum wage job, she's now averaging $10,000 a month in income. So that's
Wow.
a game changer. That changes lives.
I guess it does.
It really does. It really does. So when we first opened the Women's Business Center, I didn't know what to expect. And what I found happily is that women, they have such innovative ideas that I would not have even dreamed of. And they come and they say, this is my plan. This is what I want to do.
Yeah, I think in general, and this is a general statement, generality, doesn't approve to everybody, but women are better organized than men are in many instances.
I'm not even going to tackle that because I think it depends on the person. My daughter is so organized, everything's in a compartment. I am not. I'm a more creative person, so I have a desk filled with papers. So my
Yeah,
husband,
but you know where everything is in those papers.
most of the time I do. Most of the time I do. So yeah.
So that kind of guidance is available at either no cost or minimal cost.
Yes.
And
yes.
when they call you or come in to see you, all that would be laid out for them.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And the beautiful thing, we call it our board of directors renamed the Center for Women last year to the Helen Gordon Davis Center for Women in tribute to our founder. And our mission remains the same, to help people, and that's what we're all about. So
We've had some pretty powerful women here in Hillsborough County.
we sure do.
Sandy Merman, who's
Yes.
currently one of our county commissioners, I
Yeah.
believe was the first female Speaker of the House for the Florida House.
She's a dynamo. Yeah,
Betty Reed,
Yes.
who is one of my most favorite people. I just loved her when she would come on the show and really enjoyed it. There are so many powerful women in this county, and it's interesting to watch with our council here in Tampa, the ladies that are moving through it, especially when you look at the ladies in the school board, how many of them are women and how many of them are starting out from scratch and building careers. I foresee a lot of big things happening.
Well, I think there's probably never been a better time to have a center for women because there's so much going on in women's lives today, whether they're moms and they're dealing with how to make the best life for their children, or whether they're working professionals and really want to help themselves to either start their business or to learn job skills that will help them to advance in their careers. It's just a great and exciting time.
When Helen started this, she didn't have very many role models to point to.
No, she really didn't.
Besides herself.
Yeah.
You, when people come in, you can say, well, look at this entrepreneur. Started out coming in looking for low or minimum wage job.
Right.
And now she's making $10,000 a month.
Exactly, exactly.
It opens the mind. Doors are great to open, but you got to open the mind to the fact those doors can be opened.
Exactly, and it's for everybody's benefit. I know that my husband enjoys the fact that I work, and my kids do as well. It can kind of give them their own sense of independence, and they've gone on to succeed in what they're doing.
We've talked about several powerful women, and we've talked about some who are moving up. But one of the, I think, very important things is leadership. And I believe that's a component of the things that you do also, is it not?
We do. We have leadership programs for women to help them in the workforce. We have an annual event that we just held called Waves of Change, and it's a way to celebrate Helen. We give out the annual Helen Gordon Davis Women's Leadership Award, and this year we were so honored to have Sheila Johnson, who herself is a model of entrepreneurship, and she was fabulous. And we also honored Sandy Friedman, who was the first female mayor of Tampa, who was phenomenal and still is a powerhouse. So we do that. We have quarterly women's leadership luncheons, and our experience has been that women like to get together and women like to help each other to help each other learn. So we do that.
I think that's so important. So many people don't think about giving back.
Right.
And we have such a reserve of seniors with so much experience. Is there a place for those people in your program that can give back, volunteer-wise?
Absolutely. Almost every program we do we're fortunate to have people that volunteer their time. So in almost every program, yes, there are opportunities.
I live down in Sun City Center, and I am truly amazed at the quality of people living there and the depth of information they have, and that they're willing to share.
Yes, absolutely. I was at the Center for Girls the other day, and this little girl could not have been more than 5 years old, and she came out and she said, "I'm the ambassador for the Center for Girls." And she was the cutest little thing. And she came out, she was in the sewing room with a volunteer, a woman who had been in banking and retired, and now this was kind of her encore work that she is volunteering, helping to show girls how to make clothes and purses and things like that, and she was having the best time.
If someone wanted to volunteer, could they call you or call someone on your staff
Sure.
to talk about it?
Absolutely. Just to call the Center for Women, and we'll put them in touch with the right person.
I think it's important when people say, well, I don't have anything to offer. But once you start talking to somebody and you tell them about your background, the things you've done, it may fit something you specifically need.
Absolutely, and the Center for Women is really like 6 nonprofits in one, because we have 6 different and distinct programs that are all interrelated, but they're all distinct. For example, employment services, a lot of volunteers to come in and share their areas of expertise to help people who are looking for work. And we also have construction services to help low-income seniors to stay in their own homes and be financially independent. And we have crews of men and women who go into homes and they do emergency home repairs.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's a great program. It's been around for almost 30 years. And you know, it's a program that needs funding, and we're happily we do receive some government funding for that. But for example, I got a call one day from a woman's family, and she was 82 years old, sleeping in her bathtub because her roof was leaking, and she needed help. It's amazing what people go through in this community, yeah, and others.
It seems to me, everything you're saying is something that makes our society better.
Absolutely.
And it's grassroots.
Yes.
I mean, if this house deteriorates any further, then the house is going to take the neighborhood down. And as the neighborhood falls, the other people are going to move out of it.
Sure.
And
sure.
it's almost like alcoholism. There's a spiral that goes on down, and you find that the whole facility starts to fall apart, not just as one house, but the whole neighborhood.
Right, right.
And what you're doing is so important. That one fix of that roof may keep the mold out of it or whatever else that might cause the rest of it to go down.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the program's been around for a while. It was an outgrowth of our employment services division when a group of women got together and they thought they wanted to learn how to do construction work. And now it's been around for about 30 years. And last year we started a program called Women Building Futures to really teach women how to do construction work and to get kind of a cafeteria approach to different jobs that they could take on.
You know, I guess 30 years ago you didn't even think about women in construction to speak of.
Not at all, no.
40 years ago especially.
Yeah, yeah.
Into the 70s.
Yeah.
Things are changing, and you do see, even on the county road crews and things, women taking part in that.
Oh, for years now, yeah, yeah. But I think it really all started in the 70s, and here we are 40 years later, and everybody has greater opportunity now.
So if somebody decided that, hey, I'm a pretty good carpenter, I wouldn't mind spending a couple hours a week helping others, they could call you there too?
Gee, we've never had that happen, but I'm sure that we'd be open to that, yeah.
Well, maybe this is the direction that we need to go. If you're a carpenter, if you're an electrician, or you have just good skills that way, or even want to help, then you need to call down there, because you could save a whole neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Down in Sun City Center, one of the things that I just find almost hilarious is that we have very few streetlights.
Oh, really?
Every house has its own lamp post out in front.
Oh,
About 80%
yeah.
have their own lamp post out in front. But people are growing older and they can't get on a ladder, they can't do the things that are necessary. And so some of those lights were going out. A group of volunteers out there called themselves the lamp lighters. And if you call them, they will come out and replace the bulb or do whatever you need to do to make that light come back on. Not full electrical work. If there's a problem between there and the house or something, that's a different story. But these are just volunteers that are keeping the lights on.
That is great. You know, that is great. And it really, you know, people never fail to surprise you at their generosity, that they saw that need and they went out to fill it. It's fabulous.
Mentoring. There's just an awful lot of people who need mentors.
Right.
In all kinds of things.
Right.
Some just as you pointed out, some people are better organized than others.
Yes.
And some people need somebody to help them stay organized.
Right.
Do you provide a mentoring service?
Well, we do, through our Women's Business Center, offer mentors to help women who want to start and grow their own businesses. I think in the very general sense, you could call what we do mentoring for people. Employment services, our counselors who have done this work for almost since our inception, they help people and they match them up with people who can help.
One of the things, I was never in a single head of family situation. But one of the things that I've often thought about is these people who are, they don't have anybody to talk something over with.
Right.
You know, the child now has a temperature of 101 and their ear hurts. Should I take them to the doctor tonight, to the emergency, or what should I do? Is there any mentoring or counseling or any connections through your organization that would help these people, that they could call up John and say, John, you know, the child is this. What do you think?
Well, I think with all our programs, our people build relationships with the people that come through the door. So while we don't have a program like that, we often help people who call us and say, I need help. So we serve as a referral agency to other places where they can go and find the help that they need.
So there are opportunities to build friendships within your organization.
Absolutely, absolutely. We are what Helen envisioned, a very welcoming place where people walk through our doors and they find a welcoming group of people who are willing to help them with whatever they need. In addition to that, we have what we call lunch and learns, and women and men come to these for different topics.
Oh, really?
And it's kind of a networking event.
Where are these published at? So if I try to stay up on things, but I didn't know they existed.
Yes, well,
so where would I go to find these lunch and learns?
You go to our website. It's called thecenter.org,
Okay.
www.thecenter.org, and all of our programs and events are listed on that.
Okay, is there a charge for these lunch and learns, or do I just bring my brown bag?
If you're a member, there's no charge for the lunch and learn. If you're not a member, it's a nominal fee that just covers the lunch.
Okay, if somebody wants to be a member, when you say if you're a member, for the Center for Women, do I buy a membership there?
You do.
Okay.
We have memberships for individuals and corporations and businesses. And it really, once you become a member, you get all of the information. We connect with you, and we have online newsletters that we send.
And I'm assuming that the membership fees are related to the individual's ability to pay?
Well, we have a standard, a pretty low fee to become a member, $45 fee to be a member for an individual.
But if I'm one of those people making $10,000 or less that wants your services, do I have to join?
Well, we hope people will join. We provide our services free of cost, but some of the special things we do are for our members.
So if they wanted to come to the Women's Business Clinic or they wanted to come to the employment services or things like that.
No charge for those.
No charge.
No
They don't
charge
have
at all.
to. I want to make it clear because some people, they don't want to call up and say, I can't afford to do this.
Sure, sure.
And it's important that they know that these services are there for them whether or not.
That's right. That's right. And some of the other things we do where we do charge a fee, it's really to support the programs to help people.
You have something that I understand. I've not been to it, but I love to, a gourmet food festival. I love to eat.
Oh, then you would love this, Bill.
So talk to me a little bit about when is it? What do you have?
This will be our 26 years of doing what we call the Gourmet Festival. And we bring together 40 different restaurants for different tastings at A La Carte Pavilion on September 21st. We have music. And
Where is A La Carte Pavilion? I'm not aware of where
it's over near the airport.
Okay.
And all the information will be on, and how to get there will be on our
Okay.
website. But it's a big event space. We have about 1,000 people every year that come to this event. And for somebody that loves food, this is an event you've got to go to because we have something for everybody.
Did you say there's 37 restaurants?
40.
40
restaurants.
Wow.
Yes, yeah.
Now, is this you buy a ticket and come and taste something from each of the restaurants?
That's right.
or-
You buy a ticket, and it's a fundraiser for us. It's one of our 2 major fundraisers, and you come in, and there's a giant silent auction. It's just it's a big party, is what it is. It's a big party with lots of your friends.
Oh, that sounds really good to me.
You would love it. You would love it.
And Madsen, Executive Director of the Women's Center, I've asked you a lot of questions today, but is there anything that I haven't asked that you'd like to get across?
Well, I think the message that I would most like to get across is how much we appreciate this community. We've been here for 40 years. We are happy to help carry on the legacy that Helen started all these years ago to help people in the community to live more fulfilling lives, and the community makes that possible for us. So for Tampa Bay Community Network, for example, they've been good partners and friends to us, and I'm thrilled to be here, and I want to thank you, Bill, for inviting me in.
Well, I have to tell you, I've been here roughly 15, 16 years doing these shows, and I watch what Tampa Bay Community Network does with so little.
Yes.
And the impact, remember I said it's important, the impact, the legacy is the impact it has on people's lives. And I trust that this is going to do that for you and that more people will come to the Women's Center. This is something that's very important. Don't pass that up. If you have a child that needs help, a woman, young girl, be sure to get in touch with them. If you need help, learn your business, maybe a little bit of help with your wellness, there's lots of good things here. Just give them a call. And Madsen, thank you
Bill.
for being with us. I really appreciate it. I'm Bill Hodges. This is Spotlight on Government. You're unique, you're special, and you're great. Tell yourself so often because you are, you know, and we'll see you on the next Spotlight on Government. Again, Ann, thanks for being with us, and thanks for the valuable service that you're bringing to our community.